What up, y'all? It's Revolt, and I'm DJ Envy, and welcome to Breakfast Club Extra. Now, this week, Yee breaks down your email questions, Charlamagne praises Will Smith on his podcast, and Mario talks intimacy with the ladies from Lip Service. And of course, our staff is answering the question of the week. But first, let's check in with Donnell Rawlings to see how people on the streets are living their best life. Let's go.
All right, Donnell Rawlings, I'm in the Philly streets asking the question, what is living your best life? All right, you know Snoop Dogg and Lil Duval have a song called Smile. You heard that song?
No, I haven't.
He says, I'm living my best life. Well, here's a hashtag, living my best life. What do you consider living your best life?
Not caring what others think and doing what you want to do.
Is there anything special you want to do with me? Nope, sorry. Anything special you would like to do?
I want to go skydiving.
You want to go sky? Well, you on your own. Smile! I'm not skydiving. Donnell Rawlings, I'm in Philadelphia with the Breakfast Club. I'm trying to find out what is your definition of living your best life. I'm going to ask some people. I got one response, but we're going to give more. What's your definition of living your best life?
Living your best life is just to the fullest, man.
What's the fullest?
The fullest is whatever you make it.
No, I need to know what the fullest is to you. Somebody says skydiving. Is that your definition of living your best life?
Unless you fall and the chute don't open.
I think he might be a little bit confused. But thank you. I'm in the streets. Y'all want to know Hood on there. What's up, bro?
Hey, yo, what's going on,
Snoop Dogg and Lil Duval got a song called Smile. You heard the song?
I ain't heard yet.
Well, in the chorus he says, I'm living my best life. I ain't got time to F with you niggas. What's your definition of living your best life?
Right.
I know it's not hanging with him.
No. I'm doing my best life right here is
I am the best
working
life.
hard.
All right, what's your best life, bro?
Working every day.
Working hard.
Working every day. Working at what?
Work up the street here. Right there at the furniture store. Z discount.
Work ain't hard, boss ain't mean. Go out hungry, come home clean.
That's right.
Whatever that means.
Say no
Donnell Rawlings, I'm in the streets. What's
Say no
living
more,
your
baby.
best life? Lil Duval and Snoop Dogg have a song called Smile. I won't say it in front of your kids, but when they say I'm living my best life, what's your definition of living your best life?
Dreams come true.
Dreams come true.
Waking up every day and being grateful.
Waking up every day and being grateful. This your family?
Yes.
This is what you call living your best life right here. Donnell Rawlings, in conclusion, with the Too Soon today, I realized that living your best life is living it to the fullest and doing what you need to do to be happy. Now, I'm about to get 40 ounces of lotion. That's living my best life. I'm out.
What's up? It's Angela Yee, and it's time for Ask Yee on Breakfast Club Extra. Now, this person wants to be anonymous. He said that he was dating his now wife about 6 years ago. They broke up for a while. During that time, she had relations with someone else. Then one drunk night we had sex. A month later, she was pregnant. Kid looks like me, but I can't help but feel a certain way. I just found this out this weekend, so my mind is just going through it. She guarantees the child is mine, but would it be wrong to ask for a paternity test? And I trust her, but we also recently had a second child. Should I ask for a paternity test of him too? Okay, now I understand the first child. You guys only had sex one time, and she showed up pregnant a month later and was dating other people and sleeping with other people. So it is very fair for you to ask for that, just because for the safety of the child, if you're not really this child's father. People always say this, I'm 100% sure, and then they find out that that's not the dad. So you can't say 100% whose it is if she was sleeping with somebody else. She can't say that either. So I don't think it's bad to ask for a paternity test. Now, the real question is for the second child, why do you feel like you need a paternity test? You guys were supposedly now married in a monogamous relationship when you had your second child, so I'm not understanding why that's an issue. It seems like there's other trust things that you have to deal with. So I think you need to get to the root of the problem of why is it that you don't trust your own wife, that for your second child, you need a paternity test. That's what y'all need to be discussing. But for that first child, I don't think there's a problem. Just be open and honest and say, look, I know you were dating other people. Just for the safety of our child, if there's any issues, if I'm not the real dad, we just need to make sure that we know I'm going to still treat this child like he's my own. But I think it's important for you to find that out.
Do I think that I can be friends with my ex while I'm in a relationship? Yeah, just define friends. I think maybe acquaintances, associates. Do friends talk every day? Do friends text every day? Those things aren't really allowed. Other than that, I don't see the problem with it.
Absolutely.
absolutely not. You cannot still be friends with your ex. Like, that's dead. Never happening, no. So, for what? We have nothing to talk about. It's done.
If I see her, hey, how you doing? I keep it moving.
It all depends on if your ex is thorough enough to turn your new girl out. Then yes. But if your new girl is not thorough enough to turn your ex out, it never happened. So hopefully your ex was 6 up or something too.
I'm gonna say no unless you have a kid together, in which case I think you have to for the sake of the children. Other than that, I've seen it happen before and I've seen it work. I've seen it not work. I've seen them hook up and then they've cheated on each other's partners. But personally, I'm not friends with any of my exes. And I plan on keeping it that way.
I believe that you could be cordial with an ex. However, I feel like if you have moved on into another relationship, you shouldn't disrespect your significant other by still hanging out or catering to your ex. I feel like there's certain boundaries you can't cross.
So about being friends with your ex, my girlfriend doesn't allow that at all.
My dude wouldn't like it.
I'm on lockdown every day. I can't do anything. I can't even go out with my friends. So being friends with my ex is out of the question. Not happening.
And also, all my exes, them. I don't want to be friends with them anyway.
I'm on extra lockdown. There's a leash on my neck right now. Getting yanked right now.
Whether you're in a romantic relationship or have a friendship with someone, there's obviously some type of connection between you two and something about that other person that's attracting you to them. Therefore, I think it's absolutely not okay to be friends with your ex, especially when you're in a relationship. And if you genuinely love your partner, then you wouldn't want to put your relationship or in hot waters and allow that possibility for the fire to be reignited.
Can you be friends with your ex or with somebody? What? His ring? Hell nah. My wife would kick me. No. No.
Oh, and with us for the very first time ever,
Absolutely, I'm in.
Mario is here with us.
Absolutely, what's going on?
Yes, and you have a brand new song out, which we are going to talk about because we're very curious about drowning.
Okay.
Okay. In other words, we just watched the video because we got a little sneak peek. I know it's out today.
I don't even know they sent the video out.
Did you see it?
Of course.
No, I'm kidding.
I didn't know they sent it out to you already. That's what's up, though. I'm happy you saw it.
Yeah, so we got to see the very sexy video that you have. Now, the ladies are going to weigh in on this, but first we want to hear from you. The content of the song, being in love with more than one woman at a time. Is that really possible? Can you have the same love for two women?
I'm going to rephrase that, though. So the situation was I broke up with my ex. In the process of, dealing with the realness of, losing a friend, losing somebody you were connected to sexually, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I'm like, all right, I'm good. I'm not thinking about relationships. I'm not thinking about nothing. I met someone, and the connection was crazy, and we hit it off quick, right? And in the process of that, it's there were certain nights we be hitting it off, we in the bed, and I'm thinking about my ex, real thoughts, real you know the stuff you see in movies, and the face flat, them type of situations, because it was the first girl I dealt with after her. So that's what the song is really about. I wasn't in love with her. It was lust.
What's the time period between when y'all broke up and you started falling for somebody else?
4 months.
I have this theory.
But I see. Hold on, let's go back. I didn't fall for her though. I didn't fall for her.
Well, okay, so you don't call it falling for her.
No, it wasn't falling.
It was a lust.
Definitely, we had a deep connection. I think for me, it take me a while to fall for somebody.
Okay,
you know
deep connection.
So was the new girl didn't turn into a relationship?
No.
So it was kind of like a rebound.
It was a rebound.
I can relate. I had a little situation that was like
a little situation.
I had a little situation.
Little boo situation.
A little something. It was a little fling.
I wouldn't even call it a rebound though, because it wasn't it. And we took, because I met her shortly after, but we didn't have sex or anything until 3-4 months after we met. So it wasn't really a rebound. It's just the connection was...
The connection.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The connection was strong. See, a rebound to me is... I constantly would make that decision that this is going to be my situation that helped me get over that. It was none of that.
It might have been a subconscious rebound. That
you just wanted to be... You just needed to be...
No, because I had this theory, right? They always say that men and women deal with breakups differently. Which I do think is true.
It's very true. Hell yeah.
I think for women, when we break up, like we call our friends, we're miserable, we cry, we deal with it.
Crying.
Yeah,
And it depends on like
general.
the situation.
In general,
Especially it depends on like how you broke up, like what caused the breakup also.
And I think for women, when we break up, we kind of know it's coming before it happens. Like we done broke up 4 months ago before we even knew we.
In our head, we planned for it.
Maybe even a year.
Yeah, sometimes we've been distancing
It
ourselves.
depends on the woman you're dealing with, though.
But then
I know
I think
some women who just go hard. Like they break up and they go on a
right.
spree. You know, they want to get they rocks off.
Men do that too.
Yeah, of course. But and then to that specific point, and then they're like, all right, I'm gonna chill for a minute.
But see, I'm saying in general, guys, and they've done studies on this, have been known to, when they break up, they immediately try to go out like that night or, pretty soon after and act like it didn't happen, and they don't deal with it until months later.
It wasn't.
And
like
by the
that.
time they start dealing with it, we over it.
Yeah, by the time you
like
start being like, I miss you.
Nah, I wish it was like that. It wasn't like that for me because I lost a friend. You know what I'm saying? We were friends.
Well, why did y'all break up?
I mean, I don't even want to get into all that. It's just, it was just, the timing was crazy for both of us, and we were both trying to make it work, and we lived on like separate coasts. So it was just crazy. Yeah.
I feel like if the woman does it and she goes on like a little rampage, it's because she's trying to make the man jealous. Like, and that's a fact. Like, you be thinking like, oh, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna show.
Like guys go on their rampage because they just
right.
Yeah,
it's just natural for them to try to.
You had it in you all this time. You've been really
It's crazy you said that because I got a homegirl who called me recently. She broke up with her dude. She's like, I just want to go out. If you see me out with you, you gonna know. I'm like, yo, you're not about to use me for no. Nah, that ain't happening. Nah, handle. Nah.
And I send it to the phone. And I feel like guys be more sneaky about it. Like if you ask, have you seen anybody, even though he don't 5 people, he'll be like, nah, I'm just,
I'm chilling.
Nah, you're not lying.
Yeah. They're gonna like, we'll be like, a lot of guys have been asking me out.
I'm dating. I'll be honest. I'll be like, well, actually,
I don't know, man.
Actually, there's this one guy, Nube.
Only girlfriends really know what girls do.
That's true.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like,
And
it's tricky out here.
And sometimes not even.
You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta hope you got a good one, and hope that, you know what I'm saying, that y'all don't have no super crazy friction, especially when it's a friend of yours. But you never know until you know.
Now, when y'all break up, do you still talk to the person's like family members and friends and stuff like that?
He's going through
I wouldn't
right
say.
now.
Nah, it's just funny.
Did you play the song "Break Up"?
Nah,
coming.
Yo, it's crazy. Like it wasn't even no time for all that. You know, it was just like when you're an artist, like you're constantly on the go. Like even when you don't have music out, you still doing shows, you still traveling, you still taking trips, doing this. Like, so there's a lot of ways to like kind of not think about the situation. But like I said, I can't get past this fact. When it was your friend, it's a whole different type of situation.
You're used to talking all the time.
Yeah,
First
like,
person I call when something happens.
Yeah, like, and then it's like when they like, look, I can't even be friends with you. See, I can handle being friends with a girl after breaking up with her. Real
All
talk.
guys can.
Right.
Like I can handle friends. No.
Like Mario messed up.
No, I swear to
Friends
God.
with benefit.
Negative. I'm talking, because we had that talk. Like I can handle being friends with you. You like doing your own thing. Like I can handle that.
Now, I got my guys in the building, man. 2 people that I highly respect. 2 journalists that do this journalism thing at a high level.
Yeah,
and I must say, after watching their interview with Will Smith, I will admit, they got the second best interview of the year. Okay? Behind my interview with Kanye, okay?
IOTY talk, man.
But Elliot and B-Dot in here. Elliot Wilson, B-Dot, what's happening, man?
Thank you for having us, man. Brilliant idiots.
Did you see that
What's
interview?
up?
I didn't see the interview. I gotta see it. Where can I see it?
Get you a title subscription, man. Podcast, baby.
I love
Will Smith interview.
Will Smith is he is a testament to greatness. He obviously, we all respected Will. You know, we love the movies and we love the TV shows. And then I think, he had a couple shitty movies in a row. He had a couple movies that kind of flopped. And it was as if, and I don't know for a fact, but it was as if he looked at the landscape of fame and he was like, oh, fame is no longer distance. It's no longer privacy. It is public. It is give them everything.
This is what he touches on.
He talked about.
Exactly.
So I saw this happen live, and I'm
Exactly.
like, now he's on YouTube, now he's on Instagram, he's doing these, and he literally did it better than everybody who was on YouTube and Instagram. And it's just a testament to his greatness.
Production crew too.
But at the end of the day, it's just, especially with Instagram and YouTube and shit like that, it's just, are you entertaining?
Yeah.
And he's the best.
Yes.
He's a superstar.
He said like he came up in the era in the 90s, he built the mystique. You see me on July 4th when my movie drops. That's when you see me.
Exactly.
So now it's like he loves the creating. He talked about creating an Instagram and how serious he takes it and creating content in that short 60-second interval and how excited he is by that. So it's funny you touched on that.
I gotta watch
that's,
it.
That's the
We've
main,
spoken on this podcast.
The,
It was
the
like,
main thing was when we saw him take over social, like when he joined IG, I think it was like top of the year, right? To just give you the backdrop, how he was finally able to pull it off, was he started doing that, and then people would, whenever somebody does something big in the culture, just like you, Charlamagne, they're like, well, you should get so-and-so on Breakfast Club, or rapper needs to talk to Will Smith. So I just started retweeting that, and I guess Hov saw it. So then Hov, he's good with his family. Obviously, the kids are signed to Rock Nation, and he just kind of co-signed us, like, yeah, those guys are dope. If you can work it out, you should do it. So then it was like, okay, we got all excited. Like,
Hov, I need that same favor. Put a gray area on HBO.
Come to title. Hov looked out, but this is the most where he kind of put it out, like, I'm gonna help you guys get this, and we're like, oh, dope. Like, but then of course it's Will Smith, so he's shooting a movie here, he's shooting a movie there, so it starts to fall apart, and then all of a sudden he piles up with YouTube. YouTube jumped on it. I think YouTube might have cut that check. Of
course.
So he started creating all this content on YouTube. So we were like, oh man, what's going to happen now? We're still going to be able to get this. But, Charlamagne will tell you, I'm very tenacious. I stay on trying to get something done. And we're finally able to pull it off. We had to go to Budapest.
There you go. And
really?
That's what I told B-Dot.
What is that, Hungary?
Yeah, Hungary.
That's in Hungary, right?
The hustle's not being respected. Like, when I saw that, I'm like, oh yeah, you got to fight Elliot and B-Dot. These motherfuckers are willing to go to...
But you gotta go
Budapest to get an interview.
You gotta go where the story is. Will could have been on the moon. He would have been there for that, man.
Yeah, I think you go to Hungary for Will. I don't know if you go to Hungary for everybody.
I'm trying to think who I want to go to Hungary for.
There's a few people I go to Hungary for.
Rihanna, Beyonce. The big names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go to grab those big names. So Hov made the connection.
Yeah. The initial one.
Okay.
But then we had to work for it because it's like, again, he's shooting movies and so. And we also showed him it the whole year. So
and we also showed him previous interviews that we did, just in case he was unfamiliar with our work. So
yeah, it's not like he's from that era. Like I started writing hip hop in '92, so he kind of predates that, obviously. So I was still a fan age. So I don't have that like Will Smith, my OG. He doesn't know me.
Right.
So it's like it wasn't even that kind of thing of like me relying on that. Like he kind of peaked the era when I first started getting in journalism, and then when we were writing about hip hop, he talks a lot about how the critics was tearing him up. He's doing like getting jiggy with his in that '90s era where he was actually super successful and Stout was pushing him and the whole thing was moving. It's like he was getting ripped by. I was at the source. We were kind of ripping him or ignoring him. Like the critics never really gave him his due. So he talks about that a lot too. Like what a student he is of hip hop. Where Jazzy Jeff, his partner in it, is such a technician. Jazzy Jeff kind of basically innovated scratching and DJing.
Show things Jazzy Jeff serves no purpose.
No, Jazzy Jeff is the greatest DJ of all time.
He serves no purpose.
No. I mean, he's up in terms of the techniques of it. I'm just saying he brought the techniques.
I said the general public would have no clue what Jazzy Jeff was if he wasn't getting thrown out of the house. That's what I said.
Yeah. I mean,
but I also was going on like a massive Philly rant where I was just hating on everything.
And everything wrong.
Will has a great way of like making everything just sound smart and analytical. Like
because he is smart and analytical.
What do you say about this?
Death is the opposite of life.
Like really, Will.
Retweet.
Delirious by now. All right, well, makes sense. So
he should be. First of all, I would love a Will Smith book.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? And I kind of would like a Will Smith podcast, to be honest with you.
Question.
It don't even have to be long. Just give me 10 minutes a week of some jewels.
Yeah, right. He kind of went with a daily, smaller.
Yeah.
Here's a question: does he feel a way at all about? Will was the blockbuster action movie guy, and that's kind of transferred to The Rock. Does he feel a way about? Did you guys talk to that?
We didn't touch on it specifically, but I think he's still very competitive with that stuff.
Really?
I think the slump he's at, the movie slump he's in, I think he's trying to get out of
Well,
that.
he killed it with Bright.
Yeah.
Bright, I mean, all the reviewers, you didn't like it, but like it's undeniable how many people saw it, one, and then all the reviewers hated on Bright because they were trying to protect their own jobs. You're the only reason a movie viewer has a job is to get you out of the house to go see a movie.
So the Netflix thing is...
If the movie's Netflix, I'll watch 5 minutes. I don't need you to tell me if it's good or not. I'll just turn on watch it. So that was all job security. That's all that was.
That's how I feel the title is. It's a disruptor to the system.
But I mean, they still serve a purpose.
Treated
though.
that way. It's
Sure,
viewed that way.
absolutely. You're going to get hate.
You still serve a purpose though, because if I one of those people who was skeptical on watching the movie like Bright, but I saw a review about it and the review was good, I'd go to Netflix to watch it.
It serves a purpose, just a little bit less, because the investment of just pressing play on your TV is much less than going out, putting on clothes, going to the movie theater, buying popcorn, and
I
the
agree.
movie sucks.
You still got to give me a reason to press play though.
You know, there to a certain extent, I think about that with everything. Like, I think we got too many options in life.
Oh, I agree. Listen, that's why Netflix, I love Netflix, right? But it's a lot of things on Netflix that I want to watch, but I won't watch because I just feel like it's there whenever I want it.
It's too much.
And I don't ever get to it.
It's too much, bro.
People save it.
It's with everything, bro. I feel like we're being crippled by too many options. Just with
too much access.
I went on Amazon trying to get a charger, and there were like 50 different chargers, and every one had a little thing that the other one didn't have, and I just didn't end up buying a charger. Right? And this happens all the time. Like, I'm buying T-shirts. I feel like we need simplified.